EastEnders stalwart Nicholas Bailey has been written out after a quarter of a century, with his character, Anthony Trueman, meeting a fatal end in a dramatic Christmas Day episode. The long-running BBC soap delivered a major shock over the festive period, prompting one of its most recognisable figures to finally speak out following the on-screen tragedy. Nicholas Bailey has now confirmed that he has stepped away from the show, bringing to a close his intermittent portrayal of Anthony Trueman across the past 25 years. After returning to Walford during the summer, it was revealed that Anthony was the biological father of Zoe Slater's twins, who were given up for adoption shortly after being born in 2006. Christmas Day descended into chaos when a fierce confrontation broke out between Zoe and Anthony, ending with him falling to the ground and lying unresponsive. Believing she had caused his death, Zoe handed herself over to the police, but the following day, Cat Moon uncovered evidence that Chrissy Watts had carefully engineered a plot to frame her daughter for murder, according to reports. Although the full details surrounding Anthony's death have yet to be confirmed, Nicholas has stated that his festive return marked his final appearance on the show. Discussing his emotional departure, Nicholas explained that securing a Christmas storyline is a milestone for any soap actor, making his Christmas Day exit especially meaningful. He admitted the experience was tinged with sadness, as leaving meant saying goodbye to a place where he had quickly felt at home again, but praised the storyline for exceeding his expectations and offering him far more to explore as a performer. Nicholas also reflected on how much he enjoyed pushing himself beyond familiar territory, delivering powerful scenes and memorable dialogue, revealing he was stunned when the producer outlined the dramatic direction Anthony's story would take. He added that, in hindsight, the outcome felt fitting, describing Anthony as someone who bottled everything up until the pressure became unbearable, and this time he simply couldn't hold it in any longer. Nicholas first appeared in Albert Square as Dr. Trueman in December 2000 and remained a regular presence until 2003, later returning briefly on several occasions over the following years. More recently, the much-loved character reappeared to attend his father Patrick's wedding to Yolande, marking a poignant chapter in the Trueman family story. Looking back on his final stint, Nicholas shared that while he was saddened by the ending, he chose to embrace the excitement of knowing the storyline would pave the way for major developments heading into 2026. He expressed pride in the show's continued success and said that although saying goodbye to Anthony was difficult, he took comfort in knowing the fallout from his death would give fellow cast members compelling material to work with. Nicholas also praised the atmosphere on set, highlighting the dedication and talent across every department, and describing the working environment as supportive and uplifting. He closed by thanking the show's loyal audience for their unwavering encouragement over the years, saying he began this final chapter filled with gratitude and leaves feeling exactly the same. EastEnders boss says, things are not as they seem ahead of major Max Branning twist. The BBC soap is gearing up for a landmark moment set to unfold on New Year's Day. EastEnders boss has teased that viewers should expect surprises, warning that things are not as they appear ahead of a major twist involving Max Branning, due to air on New Year's Day. As always during the festive season, the show has entered one of its most intense periods of the year, with Christmas traditionally bringing chaos to Albert Square. This year was no exception, as Christmas Day once again proved devastating for Walford's residents. Among those who did not survive the festive turmoil was Anthony Trueman, who was declared dead shortly after a violent confrontation with his former partner Zoe Slater, the mother of his twins. Anthony had attempted to manipulate the situation by using the revelation that their daughter was the mysterious Jasmine in a bid to force his way back into Zoe's life. However, many viewers believe Zoe was not responsible for his death, as Anthony appeared to still be alive when he struck her and left her unconscious. Zoe's ordeal only worsened when she discovered that her old enemy Chrissy Watts had been blackmailing Jasmine using her to psychologically torment Zoe for months. After desperately searching for her son, Zoe was left heartbroken to learn that the daughter she believed had died wanted nothing to do with her. Adding to the tragedy, Zoe was arrested after contacting the police, determined not to run from the truth as she once had, following Dirty Den Watts' death over 2 decades ago. Despite this, her mother Kat remains convinced of her innocence. With 2026 shaping up to be another explosive year in Walford, executive producer Ben Wadey has hinted at what fans can expect during his first full year at the helm, following his appointment after his predecessor stepped down last year. He revealed there is a wealth of new material on the horizon, including the arrival of a new character played by Ronnie Ancona, whom he praised for bringing a distinctive and exciting energy to the show. Ben explained that he was keen to introduce a storyline with a strong sense of tragic comedy, centered around Bea, an old-school friend of Linda's, whose memories of their past differ sharply from Linda's own. He described Bea as someone who tends to latch onto others, with her arrival sparking a reconnection with Linda, while also driving major plot lines for several other characters. Billy and Honey are also set to play a significant role in the new year, with Ben noting that the storyline has already proven to be both emotional and entertaining for the production team. Continuing, Ben revealed that Honey and Bea will be central as the aftermath of last year's misogyny storyline unfolds. Joel's trial is approaching, and viewers will see him return as he faces the consequences of his actions, despite pleading not guilty. The situation takes a heavy toll on Vicky, who finds herself torn between her commitment to Ross and the painful associations tied to what Joel did, leading her attention to drift towards Zach and setting up a classic soap love triangle. Ben also teased major developments ahead for Ravi, who will be forced to confront the fallout from his past behavior and the psychological impact it has on both himself and his family. Elsewhere, fans are encouraged to watch for a revenge storyline involving Harry Mitchell, along with the continuation of Phil and Nigel's deeply emotional arc, which Ben described as heartfelt, realistic, and filled with standout performances that will carry the show further into 2026. Viewers already know that New Year's Day will feature a flash-forward episode set in 2026, centered on Max Branning. The episode will offer tantalizing hints about the months ahead, including suggestions that Max is preparing to marry. Discussing the aftermath of the flash-forward, Ben assured fans they would not have to wait a full year for answers, promising revelations to follow almost immediately and continuing steadily throughout the year. He added that the episode would deliberately mislead audiences, with many moments taking on new meaning as further context is revealed. Familiar scenes will be revisited, new footage introduced, and additional layers added, ultimately bringing the storyline together in a way he hopes will feel both rewarding and satisfying. EastEnders airs Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One and is available to stream on BBC iPlayer from 6 a.m.